Welcome to the Motorsport Arena Oschersleben. It's Sunday here at the NASCAR GP of Germany. It is the final day of the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series playoff semi-finals. And already in both EuroNASCAR 2 and EuroNASCAR Pro, it's safe to say there have been some dramas. It's safe to say we've had a few explosions out there on the circuit. There were multiple instances of first lap contact yesterday in both EuroNASCAR Pro and EuroNASCAR 2. There have been twists in the tails of these championships over the last 24 hours. And in the case of the EuroNASCAR 2 grid that is currently surrounded by local German fans here at Oschersleben, as you can see, we have a new race winner, a popular one at that. Claudio Remeggio Capelli claiming yesterday's race victory in very interesting circumstances. He never actually led the race on the road, but just a couple of laps into the race, we knew that the on-the-road leader, Thomas Tuffel, had a penalty for contact with pole sitter Patrick Schauber at the first braking zone of the lap. And so Claudio Remeggio Capelli held on in second on the road, second in the queue, knowing Tuffel had a 30-second penalty to be applied at the end of the race. And the 34 car would indeed be dropped outside the top 10, while Claudio Remeggio Capelli would head to victory lane. A very interesting day here at Oschersleben yesterday in EuroNASCAR 2. But for our championship leader, Martin Dubek, it was a profitable day. He finished ahead of his closest championship competition, Patrick Schauber. Therefore, the lead that was 49 points coming into this weekend is now 57. Martin Dubek, the 2021 EuroNASCAR 2 champion, is now on 380 points. Patrick Schauber in second is on 323 points. And Jill Linster is on 315. Thomas Chrysonis, still very much a factor, fourth in the points on 312. Tuffel will be looking for some points scoring today, having not had the best run of it yesterday. 88 points back, as is Jack Davidson, and Claudio Remeggio Capelli, you see there, now 7th, and he's leading in Legend Trophy. It does say Melvin de Groot there, but it is, of course, Claudio Remeggio Capelli there on the graphic. Florian Richard leading now in Rookie Trophy, and Ariana Casoli continues to lead in the Lady Trophy class as well. So a lot of change and a very interesting race yesterday. There will be second chances here for some of the drivers that were wronged, or indeed some of the drivers that had a rough time yesterday here at the Motorsport Arena Oschersleben. Patrick Schauber is once again on pole position, this time with Jill Linster alongside him, so a slightly different set of circumstances. He is still going to be on the inside for turn 1, which very rapidly becomes the outside for turn 2, but this time it is Linster alongside him. Claudio Remeggio Capelli, yesterday's winner, will be on the outside of row 2 going into the second corner, so he starts behind Patrick Schauber. And Thomas Tuffel, of course, will get something of a second chance here as well. The fastest lap times from race 1 determining the grid for this race, and Tuffel was quick yesterday. He was setting the pace at the front of the order, albeit with a penalty hanging over his head, and therefore he is right up there. He is going to be right up there in this second race. Martin Dubek again starting from P5. You can see the local MC there talking to Schauber and Linster. Andre Viegold is in proximity as well, as we saw there. Andre, of course, is down on the circuit at the moment among the fans who are taking in all things NASCAR GP Germany. It looks really fun down there, Andre.
Jill, I'm doing it in English while they're doing it for the track. So how are you feeling?
Very good, actually. I'm super happy to stay in the first row. We even did a little update on our setup from yesterday to today, so I feel super confident to attack today.
Any plans for today to take the win? Did you see some secrets maybe, or can you reveal some secrets where you can make a pass?
Actually not. I just looked at the race from yesterday in the Pro Division and our race, so yeah, just don't do it like the guys did it yesterday, and yeah, survive first turn, and then yeah, hopefully to have a fair fight with Patrick.
All right, thank you so much. Pete, are you ready? We just wait for a second, Adam, just to make a nice switch in the interview. So Pete, you're now for track announcing there, and I'm going to Patrick Schober. Patrick, we're at the best place, I think, when you're on the grid, first row. Yesterday you were kicked out of the way, and any chances or any ideas how you want to avoid this? Because just from my side, the start was not ideal.
Yeah, well, again, pole position. We know what happened yesterday in the race. I hope it won't happen again. This morning in the warm-up, I tried every kind of line there is, outside, inside, middle. And yeah, I just hope that today I can survive it and fight for the victory. Yeah.
All right, then good luck and thank you so much. Adam, I have to check one thing when the interview is ready, if they are doing the thing. Do you do it?
Of course, yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are ready for that. So in the red corner we have Patrick Schober. In the green corner we have Jill Insta. And let's go, guys. A very special picture here today. Back to you, Adam.
Let's get ready to race, not rumble. Hopefully no one has a day like Anthony Joshua had yesterday here in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. It was a very good day for this man, Claudio Remeggio Capelli. You can see his tradition now of getting fans to sign the car. I can guarantee you he's never showing up to a grid again without marker pens, because look what it did for him yesterday. He claimed the win with hundreds of fan signatures on the car. Claudio Remeggio Capelli had a great day yesterday. You'll see the car has been somewhat hastily put back together. There was quite a lot of bodywork missing at the end of yesterday's race, and that includes a number 5 on the driver's side door that can only be described as familiar. It's a red 5, but not Nigel Mansell, Claudio Remeggio Capelli, so not mustache, beard, and that is a taped red number 5 on the driver's side door. So they've had to do some hasty repairs there. The American footballers are present and correct. Currently the only people down there wearing a helmet, broadly speaking. But of course the drivers will soon join them on that front. And we will be firing these engines into life and getting the formation lap underway in just over 19 minutes time here at Oschersleben. The weekend began with a fabulous parade down in some of the local towns. Great opportunity for the fans to get an up-close and personal experience, a very unique experience as well, of NASCAR racing, of seeing race cars on the road. And now, of course, in the pre-race, they're getting the opportunity to make time with their favourite drivers. It must be commended when you think about it. For someone like Chris Sonis, 4th in the points currently, this could end up being a critical day for him. He will be thinking in the back of his mind about what he needs to do to try and perhaps establish himself in the championship top 3. He's only 3 points behind Jill Linster as it stands, sitting 4th in the championship. But he's still making time for everybody. He's still very much in the moment for the fans. And as silly as it sounds, psychologically, that can be very difficult to do. when you're considering your own matters. Claudio Reggio Capelli is a very popular man today, I imagine, Andre.
Yes, he is. Eine kleine Sekunde, ja, dann bin ich gleich schnell fertig. Claudio, how you want to repeat the thing from yesterday?
I would like to repeat, you know, I'm the man of the song. I still like a rat in a cage, you know? You know, Smashing Pumpkins?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know. So it's a nice position. I prefer the exterior, but yesterday was good. I hope today to repeat something similar, at least.
All right, thank you so much. We have a lot of fans here waiting for you, so thank you so much. Back to you, Adam.
Thank you.
The world is a vampire, according to Claudio Reggio Capelli. Let's see if he can claim himself a second win. Not tonight, but this morning here at Oschersleben. Very interested to see what he can do from Road 2. Of course, he had the inside line of Road 2 yesterday. Today he's on the outside. It does seem like the drivers on the outside are a little bit more vulnerable to potentially being pushed wide going through turn 2. We saw that from the front row in both races yesterday. Thomas Tuchel with you now, Andre.
Thank you so much, Adam. Thomas, yesterday we don't talk about the negatives because I saw a lot of positives. You had the pace to win a race. Is that true?
Yeah, I think that's true. I think I have misunderstood about the decision of the penalty and what I mean. So it was not a good day for me, but today is another day. I sleep well, and we will see.
The improvements are coming and coming. Today another chance, another shot to win the race, but you think the race art technology yourself, you have what it takes to get finally this NASCAR win, right?
Yeah, I think that we have the car, we have the good setup, we have the good improve. Everything is okay to have a good rhythm during all the race to win the race.
All right, thank you so much. Good luck and have fun. Back to you, Adam.
Thank you very much, Andre. Thomas Tuchel. Looking ahead to today's race, he has put himself in a more difficult position now in the championship. For sure. But 88 points with over 240 still available, 240 points from race wins still available, plus the 8 bonus points that you can get for most overtakes in every race. That does mean that there are technically 264 points still available in this championship. So while he is now somewhat on the back foot, it's still possible, particularly if things falter for Martin Dubek, for him to be a factor in the championship battle. Of course, even though he's 88 points back from Dubek, he is only 31 back from Patrick Schauber, and that feels a lot more surmountable. Thomas Krasonis is with you, Andre.
Yeah, and your friends, your family always told me to pronounce your name a little bit harder. Krasonis.
Not gra, like the crow, you know.
Krasonis.
Krasonis.
Okay, I'm still practicing, okay?
You will get it at some point.
At some point, but okay, we're talking about pronunciation, but will you be the one winning the race today?
I don't know what to tell you. In front, they are very close to the points. They had a lot of bad blood from yesterday. I think there is a lot of tension. I think we are very fast in terms of being a contender for the race. The only car that I think is faster is Patrick Schauber. So I think if he clears the start, it will be very difficult to catch him. The rest are on the same pace with us. So it's all about the start because it's a very technical circuit. There are not a lot of places to pass. So it's all about what happens in front. I don't think there is any threat behind this race. I think until this line, I mean, with Martin is the last person on the same tempo. So everything relies on the start. I hope that we don't have a crash, or if they do something in front that we can avoid it, and I think we will have a very good result. But yeah, winning, it's all about what happens with Patrick in the first corner.
All right, thank you so much and good luck. Have fun. Back to you, Adam.
Regarding that pronunciation note, that sounded a lot like he was rolling his R's, and unfortunately that is not something I can do. As much speech therapy as I had as a child, and I had a lot of it, that skill has always evaded me. I'll give it my best shot, Thomas Poissonnes, but I'm not sure I'm going to succeed. My apologies. Great to see him in good spirits. He seems really buoyant this season in a way that we maybe haven't seen previously. From Brands Hatch onwards, he's certainly been a consistent contender. Martin Dubeck, of course, has been so strong all year.
Yes, I'm here with the championship leader. And Martin, yesterday you were able to extend your championship lead. You had a really good race. The first time, not the domination you had in the regular season, but still, big picture, amazing points, right?
Yeah, I didn't want to risk, so it'll be the same in this race. I don't want to risk too much. I hope no crash after the start, and we need points for the title. And I hope really no crash after the start. It's important. And then I think that we can do some podium, maybe when we can see.
All right, thank you so much. Good luck for the race. Back to you, Adam.
Of course, Martin has done this before, as we alluded to already in this broadcast, the 2021 champion. He knows how to win a title, but he also knows that it's harder than ever going into the playoffs. Of course, the playoffs have expanded to just the final, from just the final weekend to the final two, and in EuroNASCAR, playoffs, rather than elimination format as we have in the Cup Series or Xfinity in the United States, it simply implies double points effectively, and with double points this weekend and in Zolder, Martin is certainly under more than a little bit of extra pressure, because small mistakes can be penalised a lot more on that points table, but equally successes are rewarded more. Melvin de Groot is with you.
Yes, Melvin de Groot. The battle in the Legend Trophy changed drastically yesterday because Claudio Capelli won the race and he took over the lead in the class, but still you're in contention for this title, so how do you want to beat him?
Yeah, try to be in front of him. It's a pity that his double points are counting here, and it's also a pity that we were struggling with the car, the setup, and but it's improving and I've got good hope for the race. But yeah, you never know what happens. The first couple of corners are quite exciting, so yeah, I don't know, we'll see.
All right, then good luck, dankjewel,
yeah.
And see you maybe later.
Right.
Back to you, Adam.
Great to see Melvin de Groot right up there and involved in the top 10 as he has been all week, or all season actually at times. 9th in the points at the moment on 286. He lines up today from position number 8 on row 4 alongside his teammate down at Team Blake-Molen, that being Thomas Dombrowski. We're less than 10 minutes away from the countdown to command. We are also a matter of moments away from the US national anthem ringing out across the circuit for the first time this weekend. The Highwayman will once again perform from the podium here at the Motorsport Arena Oschersleben, and we look forward very much to that. Great atmosphere here, live music aplenty, the fans still shuffling in. Of course, they'll currently be going from the grid walk back to the main tribune here in the early stages of the day here at Motorsport Arena Oschersleben. We're within 10 minutes. We're almost at crunch time here for the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. Here comes the US national anthem.
Nee, lass erst mal. Reicht ja, wir haben genug Zeit.
go the national anthem. It's been performed. We are now rapidly approaching race 2 of the weekend for EuroNASCAR 2. The first race was certainly a drama, and Patrick Schauber, you could hear the, not resignation, but the disappointment still left over from Saturday, taking pole position only to end up down outside the top 10, being pushed wide by Thomas Duvel in turn 2, and that of course set him back and cost him an opportunity to fight in the podium positions, and he finds himself in the same spot. So he, as he said, has been experimenting with all the lines at turns 1 and 2 to make sure he's got every fighting chance he can provide himself going into the first couple of corners. Whether or not he takes something of a pacifist role and makes sure, as Claudio Remeggio Capelli leans in to listen to a chat between Duvel and Linster by the looks of it, he will, Patrick Schauber will make sure, I think, that he gets out of the first couple of corners without contact, even if that means maybe dropping a position or two. It's better than dropping 10, as he found out yesterday. Of course, Claudio Remeggio Capelli yesterday, we saw him with his marker pens that he's been giving to the fans to sign the bonnet of his car, the hood of his car. He put a target on the back of Thomas Duvel's car. Wonder if he's done the same to Patrick Schauber's number 3 just yet. The band makes its way through the cars along the grid here at Oschersleben. Absolutely love the festivities we have here at the NASCAR GP Germany. One of the interesting things about the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series, of course, is that it is the most international NASCAR series out there. Of course, by no means the only NASCAR racing outside of America. The Canadian series, the Brazilian and Mexican series, all run, but that's on a national basis. The NASCAR Whelen Euro Series is continental, and that does mean that every single weekend has its own feel to it. It's always themed around Americana and caters towards the motoring enthusiasts and motorsport fans that really like the American way of doing things. But everyone comes at it a different way. Every circuit organizer comes at it a different way. And it's really interesting to see how Oschersleben has grown into running a NASCAR GP in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series, with the mix of performers, with the music, with everything else going on. You saw the graphic up there showing just how international NASCAR is becoming, and that is only going to continue. Of course, next year, the NASCAR Cup Series making the pilgrimage down to the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Something that we've seen the Xfinity Series, back then known as Nationwide, and the Busch Series. We've seen them do that at Mexico before, and they've also made the trip up to Montreal in years gone by. So very intrigued to see how the Cup Series takes to Mexico City. And of course, we have got our own calendar announcements coming before long for 2025. A great range of circuits that we get to visit in this calendar. 2024 has been a great year. One of the highlights, of course, so far has been returning to the high banks of Raceway Venray. And in general, I think a lot of the drivers really love the range of circuits we go to. Hear a lot of positive feedback about Oschersleben as well. Ryan Vargas certainly glowing about it. Of course, it was the first European circuit that he got the chance to drive, and he has been relishing the fact that he gets to kind of go in with some pre-experience this weekend in EuroNASCAR Pro. But in EuroNASCAR 2, we're just 2.5 minutes away expecting Martin Dubek to be careful once again. He managed to get himself up the order yesterday, but of course that was largely circumstance as Schauber dropped down the order. Tefel had his issues. It just sounds like he's going to take the pacifist way as much as possible in this race. That's the thing. Even with double points, he can now afford to do that. For someone like Vittorio Girelli in EuroNASCAR Pro, who doesn't have that much of a buffer in the championship battle, he really still has to have his elbows out. He has to keep fighting and try and score every point he can. But with these double points that you see on screen at the moment, the 8 bonus points from most positions gained, 80 for a win, 70 for second, 68 for third, so on and so forth. The double points in the playoffs. Even with that double points, even with the number of points still available, Dubek is at a stage in his season with a 57-point advantage that he can afford to drop 2 points here and there. So then, countdown to command is just over 60 seconds away. The most famous words in motorsport will ring out around the Motorsport Arena Oschersleben in just under a minute. And we will then hear the engines fire in. It will be Benjamin Kangeiser, the mayor of Oschersleben, along with Garlev, the singer-songwriter who produced the official soundtrack for the NASCAR GP Germany. That is his song Freischwimmer that has been ringing out on the podiums. Thank you very much to Garlev for providing us an official soundtrack for the NASCAR GP Germany.
Motorsports. Der Bürgermeister von Oschersleben, Benjamin Kangieser, und Singer-Songwriter Garlev.
Wait.
Drivers, start your engine!
There you go, with a lot of gusto. We are fired into life. And now everyone vacating the circuit. We are already at the point of the EuroNASCAR 2 field rolling away. And what could be one of the most critical races in the championship for Patrick Schauber, who currently sits second in the standings. This is going to be a critical day of racing. 57 points back. Not only does he really want to try and claim a race win here, he'd also like Martin Dubek to stay down there in 5th place. If anything, selfishly, he'd like Martin Dubek to fall through the order so he can try and shrink that gap down from the current 57 points. Patrick Schauber on pole position for this race alongside Jill Linster on row 1. Yesterday's winner, Claudio Remeggio Capelli, starts alongside the man he was behind all the race, Thomas Tefel, who'll be hoping to not claim a penalty today. Martin Dubek and Thomas Chrysonis start from row 3. Row 4 of the grid is Thomas Dombrowski. He's alongside Melvin de Groot in the number 69 team Blake Molen car. Jack Davidson alongside Victor Neumann. Nick Strickler and Julian Ribberg round out the top dozen. Then it's Simone Giussani alongside Florian Richard. Viti Riala, the Finn, alongside Dominic Schack for promotion, of course. German driver, German team. Mikael Blekemolen and Mario Erkeli towards the rear of the field. Erkeli in 18th spot. Yesterday, unfortunately, he had a problem and didn't get his car to the checkered flag. Giovanni Faronio in 19th, Luli Del Castello in 20th, Gordon Barnes, Reza Sardeha, and Ariana Casoli bringing us down to 23rd. And so 2x2 formation. Cars are now primed and ready to go racing for Patrick Schauber. He is going to be, I think, in preservation mode for these first couple of corners. Linster wants to try what Liam Hasemans did yesterday in EuroNASCAR Pro. That is using the 50 car to go around the outside of turn 1 and then trying to make the move into turn 2, but he wants it to go better than it did for Liam yesterday. And then you've got Capelli on the inside for turn 1, the outside of row 2. Thomas Tefel with him as we're underway in racing, and it's a good start from Schauber. Capelli trying to give Schauber a push as well by the looks of it. Linster being hounded to the very extreme side of the circuit, and Schauber is clear as he gets through turns 1 and 2. That is critical for the young Austrian. He got through turns 1 and 2 without any issue at all. Gilles Linster has gotten up to second place. Third position there is Claudio Remeggio. Capelli, but contact between Capelli and Tefel. Dubek involved in that as well. Dubek's gone around. That's huge for the championship. That is seismic in this championship battle. Dubek is down to the rear of the field. Patrick Schauber is in the race lead. He's had a clean start, but his title rival, the championship leader, has had it go against him. Thomas Tefel, that was a little bit clumsy, I feel, for turn 3. Just left his nose in there on Claudio Remeggio. Capelli spun him around. And the knock-on effects of that included Martin Dubek getting caught out as well. That incident already under investigation from the team in race control. But that is a huge drama on lap 1. Martin Dubek running down in 22nd place at the conclusion of the lap's first sector. One car into the pit lane there. Was that the... well, that was ahead of Florian Richard. I think that might have been Julian Reberg actually in the sister promotion car, which is big news in the rookie trophy if I'm correct about that. Here comes Jack Davidson trying to make up some positions. He's fighting Dominic Schack, and look at that, Florian Richard, huge lock up there. Barely got the car stopped for the corner. Did very well not to end up in the gravel. All things considered, it was Julian Reberg that went into pit lane. So Julian Reberg, one of the rookie trophy key fighters, has got an issue, and that's going to benefit Victor Neumann, who of course inherited the lead of the rookie trophy points yesterday. Mario Ercoli side by side there around the outside of Nick Strickler as Simone Giussani gets involved with this as well. This is all going on outside the top 10. This is for 12th, 13th and 14th position. But it's Patrick Schauber that leads the way this time. Andre Viegold, no dramas at turn 1, but we didn't have to wait much longer for something very, very important to happen, and for Martin Dubek, it's firmly gone against him on lap 1.
Yeah, this is what he wanted to avoid it. He said before the race, I don't want to take any risks. He was on the big picture, focused on the big picture, bringing home points, and now he's 19th and he has to fight his way through the whole field. But he has still 14 laps to go. So we saw it yesterday already. Girelli, Schauber, all of them had to recover during the race, and it was possible to at least score decent points for his championship career, for their championship campaigns, and therefore it's not over for Martin Dubek if the car is fine. So let's keep an eye on the number 7 car, Hendricks Motorsport Ford Mustang. If he can recover maybe close to the top 10, then he has still a lot of points left on his tally to be maybe the championship leader at the end of the race. His cushion is quite big, but it's a big time chance for Patrick Schauber and also for Gilles Linster and Thomas Toffel.
Obviously, you can't change the past, but Schubert will be thinking, oh, why couldn't I have stayed up there yesterday at the front of the order, narrowed the gap yesterday and again today, as Martin Dubek is now working his way through the order. Just got past Mikael Blekemolen as we have a spin for the 43. Giovanni Faronio there into the wall. Just lost the tail there, power down too early. And that has sent him into the Armco barrier. Let's hope the car isn't too damaged. If he can simply drive away from that, he might not need a full course yellow or a safety car. But quite easy. We've heard from the likes of Mark Goossens that the circuit seems a lot slipperier this year, especially offline, and perhaps more proof of that as we now go to full course yellow. The battle ongoing there between Florian Richard and Victor Neumann. They're running 6th and 7th. Florian Richard, I don't think he's run that high up the order since maybe Valencia at the very start of the season. The battle for 6th and 7th overall, also the battle for the rookie trophy lead as the race is paused under full course yellow.
By the way, Adam, this morning I had a really rare opportunity because normally I'm stuck in the media center watching cars out there on track out of the window. But we made a little trip to this to this nice chicane where they cut the course, you know. And we were watching warm up there, and you can really see as a fan and as a spectator which driver is fast and who has still issues. But now we see the incident that we had during the start.
Yeah, so Patrick Schauber got the perfect getaway. He managed to make sure he wasn't side by side with anyone into the first two corners, which I think is critical for the pole sitter this weekend. He managed to get into a clear lead, but then Tefel, like I said live, it was just a bit clumsy really that early in the race into Claudio Remeggio Capelli, and then Martin Dubek ending up getting caught out as well as Capelli and Tefel stacked up ahead of him. He ended up making a little bit of contact and being forced into a spin as well. As for Florian Richard, rather unusual to see that big of a lockup in EuroNASCAR, but I suppose in the heat of the moment perhaps just slamming the brake down rather than modulating as you have to in these cars, and the net result was going straight on. He'll be glad, the only person in the history of Oschersleben to be glad that they built that very controversial first chicane, the alternative route that they used to run for touring cars, because he'd have been in the gravel if it wasn't for that extra tarmac.
Yeah, definitely. What I wanted to say is we really could see the line of the drivers, and you could see who is really on the fast lap and who's a little bit struggling. It's just centimeters making the difference, but you can really see in those cars that are here at Oschersleben comparable to GT4 cars. We just looked up the lap times from GT4 racing here in Oschersleben and EuroNASCAR, and they're almost the same. So we are here at GT4 level with the lap times. And just here in this corner, when you go to the last curb where the 69 was right now, you can see if you go really close to the curb, you have a really fast lap. If you're a little bit outside, you lose a lot of momentum. So we can really see which car is really good setup, which driver was on the perfect line. I think we go back to green. Yeah, green flag is back in the air, so we're back racing, and we have here Jill Linster and Patrick Schauber battle for the first place. Patrick Schauber in the lead in the number 3 RDV competition machine, and behind him the blue, green, white Hendrix Motorsport Toyota Camry driven by Jill Linster, the battle for first place. So those little details, they make the difference. The drivers really make the difference in this championship, and this is what we love.
Absolutely, Linster definitely got the better of that restart from under full course yellow. Looks like everyone's stacked up behind Florian Richard as well in the battle for 6th and the battle for rookie trophy honours, and Claudio Remeggio Capelli is in the wall. Capelli is in the wall for the second time in this race. Capelli has had an incident. This time it looks like the second and final incident. Unfortunately, that looked like the exit of the penultimate corner to me. And Claudio Remeggio Capelli is in the wall. That's almost inevitably going to be another full course yellow. We've had a spin as well for Dominic Schack. That's a huge shame for him. He was running within the top 10 and 3rd in rookie trophy. As There's a local yellow between turn 13 and 14. So as anticipated, that is where Claudio Reggio Capelli's car is stranded, but it's all kicking off in the immediate aftermath of the full course yellow here. But Claudio Reggio Capelli having a study in contrast, unfortunately, as they prepare for full course yellow. They now slow down to full course yellow speed. I think the graphic came up marginally before it was declared full course yellow by race control, so I don't think those drivers were too late to slow down. But nonetheless, Capelli, from the highs of victory yesterday in victory lane and celebrating with aplomb as he was, Sunday hasn't quite gone to plan for him, and unfortunately what looked like perhaps a resurgence in the championship for Capelli is not going to prove to be with this very poor result here today at Oschersleben.
And here we have Dominic Schack after a spin recovering. At least he can carry on, but he was in a really good position in 10th place there when he had the spin. Right now we're again under full course yellow, and I have something interesting from this morning as well. Yesterday, Adam, we talked about starting crashes and when there are penalties, why there isn't a drive-through penalty, and I have a really good example right now. Yesterday, you remember that Julian Rehberg got a 30 seconds penalty because from the outside it looked like he touched Simone Giussani, but after receiving the onboard footage and receiving more footage from the outside, race control could see that there was not a single contact between Rehberg and Giussani, and therefore they deleted the penalty for Rehberg and he moved up to 10th place in the overall standings from yesterday's race. So in the end, with this procedure in place, you can really take your time, look at the footage, and then remove the penalty without destroying a driver's race. So basically, this rule is in place to ensure that we have a fair and competitive competition here. Everything's fair, race control can take the times, and the drivers can also go to race control, talk to the race director, and see if they have proof that there was nothing wrong that they were doing. So I like this idea to make the sport even more fair.
No, that does make a lot of sense. Martin Dubeck is going to be wishing this full course yellow to end as soon as possible. Of course, when you're on the recovery drive, every mile that you spend not able to overtake is painful. Is that Max Lanza?
Yes.
So he's watching on, getting some tips and tricks before the race later on in EuroNASCAR Pro. The Cal Racing guys will be cheering on Lily Del Castello in this race in the 54 car that Gianmarco Ercoli took to victory lane yesterday. Patrick Schauber watching the rear view mirrors, watching the marshal posts, waiting for the full course yellow to be lifted. Jill Linster was quicker than him to the punch a little earlier on, and Patrick Schauber will not want to risk that again. Of course, another driver that this is looking beneficial for potentially is Thomas Chrysonis. Chrysonis, who came into this weekend fourth in the championship points, just 3 off of Jill Linster. Of course, Toffel is now behind him, and we still know that the Toffel incident with Capelli is under investigation. There hasn't been a resolution to that investigation yet, it seems. But potentially there's room for Chrysonis to gain off the back of that. And of course, he's well ahead of Martin Dubeck, so his gap to the points leader is currently set to shrink massively. So this could be a really good effort for the Greek driver, all things considered. The tractor is out there on the circuit to tow away Claudio Reggio Capelli. We continue to do that under full course yellow. In fact, now we do it under safety car. So the safety car has been deployed, and the drivers will now queue up, stack up behind this BMW 1 Series that awaits them on the circuit. And of course, what this does mean as well is that race control will have the option to add some laps that we lose effectively behind the safety car, and that will be good news for Martin Dubeck, because that converts into more time for him to try and make his way back up the field. And it brings everyone, of course, back together, which will help him too.
Yeah, definitely. Martin Dubeck, good news that he is now getting back the gaps that were opened in the opening stages of this race. And with the safety car, as you said, we have the opportunity to get more laps in. It's the rule that only safety car laps can be added to the race distance. Full course yellow laps are not under this rule. So right now we're bunching up the field. We remove the number 5 car from the track, and then we see if we're going to have a double file or a single file restart. This is also an option that race control has, if we are restarting double or single file. In the past in EuroNASCAR 2 we had a lot of single file restarts, so I think it's going to be the choice, but we will see what the race control is doing. But this will now mix everything up again, and it's a big chance for Martin Dubeck. What do we have here? The lockup.
Yeah, there's another look at Florian Richard there, going straight on, and also looking at the 43, hitting the Armco barrier. Didn't look like that big of a hit, but a fair amount of damage to Giovanni Faraonio's car, thanks to one of our photographers, Bart de Hasse, for putting some photographic evidence of the recovered 43 in amongst the media group. And thankfully Giovanni is all good, but he'll be disappointed with the end to his weekend. Lap 7 of 16 then, but that 16 is more than likely to grow. You see there the number 5 car has now been stationed over at the other side of the circuit. So one would imagine that this might be the second and final lap behind safety car. As Andre alluded to, we don't yet know whether we're going single or double file, as we see there. Was that Julian Redberg on his out lap? It was. So Julian Redberg is back out on the circuit, but we saw him backing off there. And was he just allowing everybody through? Yes, he was. So he rejoins at the back of the safety car queue, which is a wise decision from him. Of course, he's just basically in a points collecting exercise now, isn't he? He can get past Faraonio, he can get past Claudio Remedio Capelli and gain himself an extra 4 points, and that could well prove to be critical later on. So you don't want to leave any points on the table, even if your race is effectively over.
So we're waiting for the next call by race control when the safety car is coming in, and also if we're going to have a double or single file restart. Adam, at the moment, Schober and Lindster with a great opportunity to gain some points in the championship battle. Dubeck may be now in a good position to make a good comeback and at least limit the damage in this race. What I really liked about Martin this weekend, normally he's focusing on winning. He's a really he's a hungry guy. He wants to have the trophies, he wants to be in victory lane, but he's switching now in the playoffs to the big picture mode. Of course, it was not his fault to be involved in this incident in the first lap or on the first lap, but Martin is really trying to build a championship winning campaign this season by thinking about the big picture, making strategic calls. So the whole approach he has in this season really looks like a major approach to win his second EuroNASCAR 2 title. So, safety car in this lap, single file restarts.
Yeah, as you said, great maturity from Martin Dubeck, a former champion. He knows how to do this, and as much as winning a trophy, especially the P1 trophy here at Oschersleben, is very fun, in part because I think that P1 trophy could be used as a riot shield if you absolutely have to. It's pretty big. He knows the bigger picture is the EuroNASCAR 2 championship for he and for Hendricks Motorsport. The safety car peels in. We are doing a single file restart, and let's see if anybody can make up some positions, if anybody can get a good getaway here. Schober continues to control the field, bunches them right up before he finally launches away. Lindster is still right there with him though, so by no means has Patrick Schober managed to give himself a cushion on the restart. Lindster was right there on the trigger with him, and they go through turns 1 and 2 pretty much all in single file. There's a little bit of side-by-side further back. Strickler and Giussani. It was Giussani ahead of Strickler at the line, so Strickler looks like he might be making up a position there. But broadly speaking, a clean restart as we get back underway here at the Motorsport Arena Oschersleben. The top two have started to gap the third place man. Thomas Duffel, I think, was caught out a little bit there. We haven't actually mentioned Melvin de Vroot much in this race, but of course Claudio Remeggio Capelli with his dramas, he's now going to be dropping points in the Legend Trophy. The Legend Trophy that the tall Dutchman Melvin de Vroot now leads from P4. Crassonis just behind him in 5th overall. But Melvin potentially here perhaps going to take back the lead in the Legend Trophy. We saw Victor Neumann rally crossing there. He was fighting with Crassonis and indeed Jack Davidson. Davidson to the inside of him, but Neumann goes off the road himself trying to avoid contact. There's splitter damage on that car. That can sometimes wreak a little bit of havoc with the balance of the car. We've seen that historically before. The splitter, if it gets damaged, can make things a little bit harder at the wheel for the driver, and I think that might have been just going off the circuit. We saw Neumann doing that on the back straight, trying to get to the inside of Crassonis, and perhaps the grass just snagging the front bodywork on that 47. Let's hope for Neumann's sake that hasn't caused any issues to his car, as we get confirmation that 2 laps are added to the race distance.
Yeah, I really love this rule that we add now those safety car laps, so we get more green flag racing. In the past we had some races, more behind the safety car than under green, and this improvement in the championship is really paying off this year. We saw some races extended by this rule, and we have a better opportunity to get some more racing in. I was just a little bit worried that there will be more contact right now. Victor Neumann and Dombrovski there. Neumann with a really good race weekend so far, Adam, right? He really improved since Venray. Since he had a good result on an oval, he even improved much on road courses, in my opinion.
I feel like there's something to be said for that first positive weekend in a discipline as unique within European motorsport, the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series, proving that you can do it and be competitive at least once gives you grounds to believe that you can do it again. And Neumann, of course, by no means a road course slouch. I first came across him racing light sports cars in the UK, where he was very competitive indeed in Sports 2000 competition. And look at him now fighting up against Thomas Dombrovski, trying to get those positions back and looking to the inside at turn 2. He needs to make sure he gets it stopped. A little bit of contact between the two of them, but Neumann gets through into 9th position. That was nicely done. And that thankfully proves that the minor damage there is to the front of that car is indeed purely cosmetic, as Martin Dubeck tries to get to the inside of Strickler there. Of course, he's now at odds. He's got dueling philosophies. He wants to get every point he can. He needs to get up the order in order to do that, but he also will have to take risks in order to get up the order, and he is taking a risk side by side through the triple with Thomas Dombrovski. Strickler has gone past Dombrovski, and the car with the red banner, the championship leader Martin Dubeck, you can almost sense the kind of anxiety just watching him there, trying to stay out of trouble while trying to gain positions. As you get towards the top 10, of course, it gets a lot harder to make these overtakes. These drivers are nearly as quick as you are, and they're fighting for their own championship honours, in this case among the rookie trophy, in the case of Victor Neumann, and the overall points just further down the table for the likes of Dombrovski and Strickler. But Dubeck, you can tell, isn't fully committing to anything here. He's just trying to keep that car clean and pointing the right way.
And I think that the Markus Stipp Motorsport crew is now holding their breath with Strickler really aggressive against Neumann, and they are now again side by side. Strickler is trying everything to get past his teammate, and now the door is open. Brilliant move by Nick Strickler, who was so aggressive, and I know that the team bosses and the team members don't like to see their teammates fighting that hard here on track, but Nick Strickler makes it past Neumann with a really good move, and then behind that, Martin Dubeck. We have him now close to make the pass on Dombrowski, and he sticks it. So Martin Dubeck now in 11th position and Strickler new in 9th. These are tremendous battles we have here.
Absolutely. It looked like Strickler got a really good run onto the main straight because he really surged by Victor Neumann. Maybe Neumann missed a gear or something like that. The knock-on effect, though, is Martin Dubeck hunting down now the 47. The Marco Stitt Motorsport car's becoming a target. Strickler off the circuit. Strickler loses everything he's gained. 2 positions down. His teammate and Martin Dubeck both go past him. 2 wheels on the grass. Doesn't take much. And in fact, Neumann it was. Was it Neumann that went off? Yes, it was. Okay, so Strickler is still there, but Victor Neumann again putting a foot wrong. So he ends up behind Dombrowski. And, well, that's a huge shame for Victor Neumann. It's all gone a little bit pear-shaped in the last 5 laps or so. You can tell he's driving at the limit, but unfortunately that's taken him out of the top 10. Side by side now with Simone Giussani further back in the field. While all of this is going on, at the front of the order, Patrick Schauber is still 7/10 clear of Gilles Linster at the front of the field. Linster actually just registering his personal best lap of the race. Of course, at this juncture of the race, the big question is how much tyre do you have left, because this tyre will have done yesterday's race and yesterday's qualifying. So if either Schauber or Linster has a little bit of extra grip going on, now is the time to use it, as Strickler gets loose there. Does very well to just about keep it straight, but ends up across the gravel. Giussani goes around him, Briala goes around him, and I think Neumann has dropped back further. Yes, he has. Victor Neumann is still behind Strickler. He's dropped even further back behind VT Briala now. So he'll be down in, I think, 15th place, 14th place. Both of the Marco Stitt Motorsport cars having dramas, losing positions. Well, the team's worst fears weren't realised because they didn't make contact with each other. But still, both of the cars that were in that intra-team battle have ended up dropping positions in a big way.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. We said so many positive things about the Marco Stitt Motorsport drivers, and we saw Strickler and Neumann here on the limit, but I think there's something wrong with Victor Neumann's car, because I see it and all the other cars are quite faster right now. I talked to Victor this weekend. He said, I gained so much more confidence in the car and in my driving, and therefore I'm way faster. But I think there's something wrong with the car, because he's dropping back even behind Luli Del Castello right now. And it looks like, especially on the straights, he loses a little bit of power. So just speculation from my side, but there may be something wrong with the 47 car. Strickler was on the edge. He was on the limit. He went over it a little bit and then he dropped back. But Strickler also with a decent pace. Now it's all about consistency. Build the consistency and bring or keep the car on track to stay there. We have an information. The incident in turn 3 will be investigated after the race, and even the incident between the 7 and 48. Was there a contact?
Yeah, no, I was just about to make that comment as well, that they've suggested and notified that an incident between Strickler and Dubeck will be investigated after the race. I didn't perceive any contact, but there might have been a little bit of contact. Of course, we weren't at the optimal camera angle to really see that. They will have access to onboards and stuff like that, but if that does prove to be something worth investigating, that could be another added drama for Martin Dubeck. But yes, as alluded to, the incident between Tovel and Claudio Remeggio Capelli is now to be investigated after the race. So if you're waiting for a decision regarding the 34 Race Art Technology car and Claudio Remeggio Capelli, you will have to wait. Marco Stitt Motorsport still have a dog in the fight towards the front of the order, and that is Thomas Chrysonis, who is hunting the rear of Melvin de Groot here for 4th position. Thomas Chrysonis just behind him. Jack Davidson, of course, also looking for a top 5 here in the number 21 car, just lurking behind the 46. Of course, last year he was a Marco Stipp Motorsport driver, has now gone out on his own with the help of friends, family, his backers GT Omega, with his own team, Lux Motorsport, which is a big undertaking for a driver in his second season in a category, but he seems to be managing it fairly well. And in this battle now for fourth place, no less than 3 cars involved, and it looks like Tafel might end up getting involved in it too. The 3 cars behind him were marginally slower last time by, but let's see as here comes Chrysonis. Oh, that was an unlikely lunge at turn 14. I dare suggest, though, the unlikeliness of it was the point. Try and catch out the tall Dutchman in 4th position while all of this is going on, as Jack Davidson now has a look to the side of Chrysonis but isn't going to make a move at turn 1 and 2 by the looks of it. I know, Andre, that you have to run down there now if you haven't already, sir. Enjoy the victory lane.
Thank you, I will do now. And keep an eye on Hercule and Richard as well. They're having a nice fight for the Rookie Trophy win.
Ah yes, 7th and 8th overall. Mario Hercule looking to avenge the non-finish yesterday, of course, ahead of Florian Richard in 8th place, just 0.4 of a second between them, so we'll keep an eye on that as well. As for now, we watch this battle for 4th overall. The Legend Trophy race leader, Melvin de Groot, running in 4th overall. Thomas Chrysonis running in 5th place. Jack Davidson running in 6th position. Davidson was 6th in the points coming into this race, but tied with Thomas Tafel, so he's going to lose a few points to Tafel if he finishes 3rd, and indeed if he stays 3rd with the investigation. There comes Davidson around the outside. Brilliant move from Jack Davidson there. Very committed indeed. I have to imagine Chrysonis was either a bit early on the brakes or struggled onto the back straight. But nonetheless, Davidson making a move that no one would have seen coming under normal circumstances, and that puts him up to 5th place. Chrysonis will be disappointed to see a couple of points escape his grasp in the title fight. Davidson is now going to try for P4 if he possibly gets the rear of Melvin de Groot, the race winner from Brands Hatch earlier this season, with a stunning move there at turn 11. Here comes Chrysonis looking to the inside, isn't going to get it done there. Chrysonis has picked up a little bit of front end damage. An ultimate lap of the race. Patrick Schauber has extended his lead out to over 1.5 seconds, so it looks like at the front the Austrian driver is fairly secure. Linster in 2nd place, Tafel in 3rd place, de Groot in 4th. Davidson now up to 5th place, but Chrysonis getting a good run there onto the back straight this time. He wants to try and get that position back. He's not going to try it around the outside, I don't think. Davidson now all too aware that you can make the move around the outside, because he just did it. But Chrysonis not doing it on that occasion. Mario Hercule is just behind these guys on the road, 4 seconds further back, and he is now just over half a second clear of Florian Richard. So Hercule looks like he is set to hold on to that Rookie Trophy lead unless Florian Richard can do something special here on the final lap of the race. You see them towards the back of shot as well. Looks like Hercule is secure in 7th and the Rookie Trophy lead. That will help them both, especially with Victor Neumann struggling 6th in the rookie standings at the moment and 17th overall. Here comes Chrysonis again. Another good run off of turn 2, and this time he's got the inside for turn 3. Davidson trying to hold on around the outside. He's on the grass. On the grass for most of the straight, heading into the triple apex section of the circuit. Tried to cling on around the outside, but no. The 46 car, Chrysonis, gets his 5th position back, but Davidson isn't going to take that lying down. Tries to get to the inside there, to the right rear quarter panel of the number 46 car. They go through the chicane for the final time. Davidson's going to try and get a good run. He gets a great run onto the back straight. He's got the momentum in his favour, tries to use it, and now he's going to once again try and do it around the outside. Surely lightning can't strike twice. It does! Jack Davidson has mastered the round the outside overtake. He moves up then into 5th position. While all of that is going on, Patrick Schauber has seen the checkered flag for the 2nd consecutive event. Schauber crosses the line to win the race. 2nd position going to Linster. Tufel taking 3rd place ahead of Melvin Groot, and Jack Davidson, after that stunning move, is up into 5th place. Chrysonis 6th. Mario Urquely has crossed the line to win in the rookie trophy standings. Luli Del Castello having a very strong race back in 14th position. Not quite able to beat Viti Riala to the line, but she's done well there in the Cal Racing car and will of course win in the lady trophy category. Melvin de Groot won the Legend Trophy, and Mikael Blekemolen will claim 2nd in that class, finishing 15th overall. Martin Dubeck, the championship leader, finished in 9th position. And with Patrick Schauber claiming 80 points for the victory, that is going to cause a big swing in the championship order. That will take, by my counting, 24 points out of the championship lead. If I have this right, it will be 56 points scored by Dubeck. 70 for 2nd place, of course, then it goes down in increments of 2. Patrick Schauber leading the way, winning the race and scoring 80 points. 70 points for Jill Linster. Thomas Tufel in 3rd position. Melvin de Groot in 4th place. Jack Davidson, P5. 6th position going to Chrysonis. Mario Urquely in P7. Florian Richard in 8th. Martin Dubeck and Thomas Dombrowski rounding out the top 10 in a very intriguing race here at Motorsport Arena Oschersleben. 80 points added to Patrick Schauber's tally. A race win added to his record for the season. This will be of great use to him and RDV competition. They will celebrate in victory lane once again. And as with last year, Patrick Schauber is winning in Oschersleben. He did it last season with Double V Racing, of course. Last year when he did it, it was something of an outlier in a mixed season. Wasn't a championship contender, I would say, by Oschersleben. But this year he is firmly a championship contender. And the circumstances of the day, I think mean, if I have my maths right, that there will be a 33-point deficit between himself and Martin Dubeck, down from 57. So that really is a big shift in the championship. And that will put him in a position where he could feasibly claw it all back when they arrive at the Circuit Zolder in October for the finals weekend. But for now, the thought will be, I'm sure, on the race victory. He will be looking ahead. He's a calculating young man, as Patrick Schauber. I'm sure he'll be looking ahead to the Zolder weekend now. He'll have done the maths in his head, and he will be aware that his chances have just gone up exponentially. I also can only imagine that one of the first questions he'll ask Andre Viegold, if the team hasn't told him, is, where did Martin finish? And the answer being P9 is certainly in Schauber's favour. Jill Linster, of course, will also close in on the championship lead with the 2nd place finish, as we get a replay here of the race start. And it was a very good start indeed for Patrick Schauber. Got the whole car ahead of Linster before they made their way into 1 and 2, and that was critical in just making sure he didn't get hung out to dry on the outside. But here comes Patrick Schauber. Just trying to find his footing as he claims and celebrates a race win here in Oschersleben. Puts the guns back in the holster. But he's anything but disarmed now in the championship battle. 160 left to score in terms of race victories, plus of course the 8 bonus points available in each race for most overtakes, most positions gained. And the gap will be down to a provisional 33. That is a very compelling championship situation. The fans here at Motorsport Arena Oschersleben have been treated to a great race. And the Austrian driver, I'm sure, will receive applause from the fans as he makes the way onto the podium. As Garlav's NASCAR GP Germany anthem will play him on to the podium. He will definitely be in a celebratory mood, Andre.
Oh yes, he will. Patrick, you did it again in Germany, you did it again in this season, and with Martin Dubeck having some issues in this race, that means you may close the gap.
Yeah, I don't even know where he finished, so yeah, I'm pretty curious about the point standings now after the victory. But yeah, I want to thank you to the whole team of RDV Competition, to my sponsors, Motorsport team, and my parents, because they support me throughout this weekend. And yeah, it feels really good to be back in the victory, and especially here where I got last year my first victory. Yeah,
I can tell you, Adam was in my ear, 33 points to Dubeck. That's the provisional situation right now before heading into the finals.
Yeah, sounds pretty good. I mean, if we all also have this luck in Solar, then I'm sure that we can fight for the title this year.
All right, you know what's coming up next? Here's your winner sticker. EuroNASCAR 2 winner, Patrick Schauber.
There you go, race win once again for Schauber between himself and his teammate Paul Giffreau. We've got a couple of stickers now on the number 3 car. There's another one added from Patrick Schauber. Whoever has the fewest stickers at the end of the season has to pick up the bar tab on Zolder Sunday. That should be the stipulation down at RDV Competition. A great team, 2 young talents really forging a great pathway in EuroNASCAR racing. I think RDV have a lot to be optimistic about. Schauber would be very interested to see in future seasons how he does in EuroNASCAR Pro as he gets more experience, certainly really finding his footing within the EuroNASCAR 2 landscape at the moment. He will rehydrate, he will evaluate, and then he'll get himself onto the podium. A happy day for him. Not a happy day for Martin Dubeck. I'm sure he is frustrated as he climbs out of that Hendricks Motorsports number 7. Of course, the number 50 will at least get to celebrate on the podium, courtesy of Jill Linster's 2nd position. The number 50 car was eventually 3.4 seconds back from Schauber by the end of the race. Schauber really controlled the race from the front once he got a clear lead. And Linster, though, will still shrink his gap to the championship lead, which is, of course, very important information for him. Double V Racing, Simone Giussani is with you, Andre.
Yeah, thank you so much, Adam. It was a really thrilling race, exciting battles on track. Tell me, what happened to you out there?
Yeah, sure, it's a fantastic track, and the race has been fantastic. Many takeover, many battles, but the best things that we are always fantastic with the other pilot and always honest. Okay, so the race has been fantastic, amazing. It's a good podium after many races. So good for my team, for my sponsor, and for everyone. Yeah.
All right, grazie mille. Congratulations. Finally, Simone Giussani. Back to you, Adam.
Ciao.
There you go. Good result for Giussani, third in Rookie Trophy. So we'll see him up on the podium for Double V Racing. There's the ever impressive NASCAR GP Germany trophies, as impressive as they were last year as well. And the big one will be held aloft by the big man, Patrick Schauber, the tall Austrian youngster. And Jill Linster is with you, Andre.
Yeah, it was so close. It was a nice battle up front there. So tell me, how do you feel?
I feel very happy with the second position. Very good for us. I had an amazing car, but it was impossible to catch him. I was never close enough to really attack or put him under pressure. He did a great job, no mistake. So difficult for me to fight for P1.
What about Martin Dubeck, your teammate? The championship leader had some issues during the first lap, and he scored some solid points, but the championship situation changed a lot.
Yeah, I actually don't know where he finished, but yeah, for sure he was behind me. So I will gain a few points, but yeah, I think I'm still not in the position to really do it on my own to win the championship. But yeah, unluck was today on his side, unfortunately. And yeah, now we go to Zolder.
All right, thank you so much. Congratulations, Jill Linster. I hope that we get the next driver in, but we go back to you, Adam, for a minute.
Okay, my friend, catch those drivers, collar them before they run away. Great to see everybody in victory lane, celebrating along with the winners, and of course everyone congregating for the podium ceremonies, which we'll see in a few moments. I see that Andre is setting up there with young Mario Ercoli, of course, 7th overall for Mario Ercoli in today's race, but more importantly, Andre, a rookie win.
A rookie win for Mario Ercoli, another one, and a really nice battle with Florian Richard. Just tell me, how was it?
Yes, yesterday I was really mad with myself because I did some mistake, and thanks to the team and to repair the car, and today permits me to fight to do a good comeback. So very happy, another win, and we try to close the gap in the championship.
I think you did it, so we have to make the calculations. So take a look at the EuroNASCAR.com website. In let's say 10 to 20 minutes, maybe we have something there then, and when we see how the situation is. Okay. Grazie mille, congratulations. And I think.
Great to see Ercoli continuing some of that rich form that he had, of course, at the Most round, which included his first rookie trophy win. You can see Liam Hazeman's there joining his team, and Florian Richard has joined Andre.
Yeah, thank you so much, Adam. I already asked Mario, it was a really good battle between you two, right?
Yes, no word. It's an amazing race. Mario Ercoli, it's a good driver, it's a good performance. P2 rookie, yes, it's good performance for me, and P1 overall, P1 rookie, and championship, it's a good race.
Now it's up to Zolder, and then it's really tough and close rookie trophy battle. So, what does it take to win it?
It's very short. It's very short, but it's short.
So we see.
Yes, yes.
All right, merci beaucoup. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Back to you, Adam.
Florian Richard leading now in the rookie trophy standings once again. He's also up to 10th position in the overall championship as well. So in the overall top 10, and he's retaken the rookie trophy lead that Victor Neumann claimed yesterday here in the NASCAR GP Germany semi-final playoff number 1. Number 2 did not quite go to plan for Victor Neumann, unfortunately. It did look like his car was struggling with damage. Thomas Tuchel, though, with a better day than he had yesterday.
Way better day than yesterday, but again a very eventful and thrilling race for you, right?
Yeah, it was. The start was something crazy. Everybody touched, and I had a lot of damage in the front of my car. So I was not so sure that the top don't come in my window. So after I think, okay, it was okay, but I wanted this third place. I just do the race to see that the Melvin de Groot don't come, just to take a little space with him, and I'm satisfied with this position.
All right, thank you so much. Congratulations, Thomas Tuchel. Back to you, Adam.
Thank you.
Thomas celebrating a podium.
EuroNASCAR 2, meine sehr verehrten Damen und Herren.
And it sounds like in the next few minutes we are going to get the podiums here, of course, starting with the overall podium ceremony. And indeed, Tuchel, now that he is done with his media obligations, makes his way up onto P3. Will have closed in his gap as well slightly on Martin Dubek, of course provisionally, because the contact between he and Capelli on the first lap is going to be investigated post-race. Gil Linster, second position. But here comes the race winner, Patrick Schauber, to the top step. A big haul of points, 80 points for him. Gap shrinks down from 57 to 33 as he tries to hunt down the Czech driver, Martin Dubek. The Austrian national anthem for Patrick Schauber.
Patrick Schauber, Österreich. Gil Linster, Luxemburg. Thomas Tuchel aus der Schweiz. Jetzt gibt's die Pokale. Jetzt gibt's die Trophäen. Der dritte Platz wird übergeben von Wolfgang Zahn, Agrarmarketinggesellschaft Sachsen-Anhalt.
The podium ceremony ongoing then. The presentations being made to our drivers. Thomas Tuchel claiming the third position trophy.
Tourismusverband Mittelelbe.
That was presented to him by Wolfgang
Und jetzt
Zahn,
darf selber ran, der Chef. Der Siegerpokal vom
the Saxon-Anhalt
Bürgermeisterstadt
region.
von Benjamin
Gil
Kangretzer.
Linster receives his trophy from Jan Braunsberger. And the Bergmeister of Oschersleben, Benjamin Kanglesser, I think that means mayor, gives the trophy to Patrick Schauber. Big trophy, big driver, and big swing in the championship.
Der nächste Programmpunkt, da freuen wir uns alle immer drauf.
The Austrian racer
die Fotos geschossen wurden.
is really coming into his own in this season with RDV competition, has taken a big step forward, as Paul Dufresne did with them in his first season with the team in EuroNASCAR 2 last year. Of course, Dufresne claimed that EuroNASCAR 2 title last year. Schauber starts from Zolder on the back foot, but it's certainly possible that he could reel in Martin Dubek. Some champagne in the eyes, I think, but time for some photographs with our media team. The fans cheering on, and the pit crews as well, cheering on the drivers as they celebrate. The next presentation is due to be the the Whelen banner, the red banner representing the championship leader, that of course being Martin Dubeck. I'm not sure that he is going to have the body language of sheer delight, but he will still have the championship lead. And in fact, all things considered, he still looks pretty happy. I think big picture, a 33-point championship lead is still good. He just needs to work on the preservation now in Zolder, making sure he finishes solidly in the top 10, scoring the points he needs to score. He's still got the high ground in the title fight, so Dubeck can still be happy with where he stands going into Zolder, a 33-point championship lead provisionally.
Wo ist er? Auf der dritten Position. Gordon Barnes aus Großbritannien. Seit vielen Jahren lebt er in München, in meiner Heimatstadt.
Legend Trophy time, and it's Gordon Barnes, the serial winner of the regularity format EuroNASCAR Club Challenge in just his third race appearance of the season. His second appearance in EuroNASCAR 2, and it's great to see that he is there on the top step. Mikael Bleekemolen takes second position. I said top step for Barnes. Of course, he's on the third step of the podium, but great to see him up there. Loves this fulfillment of starting NASCAR races, being a NASCAR driver. It means a lot to Gordon Barnes. I know this for a fact. But Melvin de Groot in fourth position overall, a comfortable win within the bounds of Legend Trophy after, unfortunately, Claudio Remeggio Capelli ended his race in the barriers. Jan Braunsberger presenting the third place trophy to Gordon Barnes, who looks pretty elated with that. Silke Reklanger, former Olympian, presenting the second place trophy to Mikael Bleekemolen. And the winning trophy goes the way of Melvin de Groot in Legend Trophy. He will have reclaimed that Legend Trophy lead, I believe, over Claudio Remeggio Capelli now. And in fact, yes, he has, and quite significantly as well, has a 31-point lead in Legend Trophy now over Claudio Remeggio Capelli. Melvin, ever busy, takes a phone call as he comes off the podium. What do you mean, where am I? I'm on television. You should know where I am, Melvin says. Rookie trophy win going to for Mario Ercli, of course, his compatriot Simone Giussani on the third step of the podium. Florian Richard reclaiming the rookie trophy points lead with this second place finish in that class. Of course, Mario Ercli, though, becoming more of a threat, racking up these wins towards the end of the season. And Mario, they're having some banter with the local MC. The teenage sensation in his first full season, of course, made his racing debut in EuroNASCAR here last year at Oschersleben. And now he stands on the top step. Silke Renklenke presenting to Simone Giussani there. Benjamin Kanglesser of Oschersleben presenting second place trophy to Florian Richard. And Jan Braunsberger back up there as well for the local tourism board, presenting the trophy to Mario Ercli. And a lot of reasons for the Erclis to celebrate at this stage of the weekend. Of course, Gianmarco taking the Cal Racing 54 to victory lane yesterday. And the number 8 car of young half-brother Mario was on the top step in Rookie Trophy today. Lily Del Castello will be up onto the podium next. for the Lady Trophy honours. She had a really good race, well up there, fighting with some of the Rookie Trophy drivers like Viti Riala. Luli just getting back into EuroNASCAR racing, of course, made her first appearances of the season at Autodrom Most. And she holds the trophy high. Luli Del Castello claiming the Lady Trophy honours. That is the final presentation for the EuroNASCAR 2 competitors for this weekend. Let's take a little look back at what happened in race number 2 here at Oschersleben. We start off with a look at turn 3. Turn 1 was relatively clean. Unfortunately, turn 3 not so much. Capelli tagged by Tufel, and because of that, Dubeck also in a spin. That was big for the championship, of course. Martin Dubeck falling through the order. Florian Richard locking up in front of Victor Neumann in the Rookie Trophy lead battle. Contact for Faronio with the barriers brought out of full course yellow. We went back to green flag. Dominic Schack had a spin in the promotion car, and while that was going on, Claudio Remeggio Capelli was also in the barriers and out of the race. A very difficult race for him. Safety car was out, and then back under green flag conditions, Patrick Schauber got a good start, held on to the lead. While that was going on, there was a lot of fighting further back, and Victor Neumann looked like he started to have a wayward car. A little bit of contact at one point trying to get around Chrysonis, and that would ultimately seemingly affect his car's performance for the rest of the race. Had a great battle, though, with Dombrovski, with Strickler, and the recovering Martin Dubeck as the laps whittled away on the race. Strickler cutting the nose off of Martin Dubeck there. Dubeck did well to not make contact with the 48 Marco Stipp Motorsport car. And let's have a look at this. Did Dubeck collide with the 48? That wasn't on this lap, but there was, of course, an investigation going on between the 48 and the 7. I think we'll get a look at that in this highlights package as well. But Dombrovski holding his own against Martin Dubeck, and Simone Giussani proving to be a difficult adversary here. We get a look now at Dubeck getting past Dombrovski, making his way through the field as best he could. But he really was in the walls, in amongst the fights. Further back in the field, Victor Neumann throwing up dust, losing positions as a result of that. And I don't know if there was that much contact between Strickler and Dubeck. There might have been a little. The stewards will look at the onboards and work out whether or not Dubeck had any role to play in that. Not once, but twice, Jack Davidson got around the outside of Chrysonis for 5th place. Chrysonis found his way back past Davidson, and Davidson, rather masterfully, would do it all over again. Chrysonis got back to his inside and back into 5th position. On the final lap, as they came through the middle sector, Davidson would try desperately to hold on, going over the grass, but then around the outside he would go once again to take that 5th place. And of course, your winner at the end of it all was Patrick Schauber. The checkered flag awaited the number 3. And a great day for Schauber. A big gap taken out of the championship points. What was a 57-point lead for Dubeck over this man, Patrick Schauber, is now just 33. So the lay of the land has certainly changed in the championship standings of the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series EuroNASCAR 2 division. We head to Zolder with a very compelling battle in prospect for the finals of the EuroNASCAR 2 playoffs. Have a look at the schedule here. 2:25 p.m. Central European Summer Time is when we're back on the air for the final time this weekend. That will, of course, be EuroNASCAR Pro.